Am I the asshole for not letting my mom get anything from my grandparents' will? My great-grandma passed away in March. In her will, she left everything to me, 19M, and my siblings, skipping both my grandma's and my mom's generations. Except for one item. My great-grandpa's 1993 Corvette, which was willed to my mom. In November of last year, a few months before she passed, my great-grandma privately gave me the Corvette. She told me she didn't trust my mom with it and wanted me to have it instead. My great-grandpa had told me since I was a kid that I'd have the car one day, so this wasn't a surprise to me, but no one else knew. Per the will, the house and everything in it was to be sold, combined with her savings, and divided among me and my siblings. My grandma's lawyer is the executor, but decisions about the house could be modified if all of us agreed. When she passed, my mom tried to convince me and my sister, 20F, to let her live in the house for 5 years so she could save up and buy it. The will stated it should be sold, and I wanted to stick to that. My sister was initially on the fence. She was worried a drawn-out legal process from a contested will would delay everything, and thought maybe it'd be easier to just let our mom live there. Eventually, we talked her out of it. But when she later found out that I had the car, since great-grandma gave it to me directly before she died, she blew up. She said we were taking what was rightfully hers, cussed me and my dad out, and blamed us for the will's outcome, even though we were just following what was written. To try to meet her halfway, my sister and I offered a compromise. We'd let her live in the house for 2 years. Not 5, as long as she paid rent, and if she couldn't buy it by the end of that period, we'd sell it. She went off again, so we dropped the idea entirely. Now my sister believes I should give the car to our mom since we're already getting so much. But I said no. My great-grandpa always said the car would be mine, and my great-grandma made it clear she wanted me to have it before she passed. My mom is fully capable of supporting herself. She has an income and is doing fine, so it's not like she's relying on this for survival. Am I the asshole for sticking to what was given to me? Not the asshole, but if the car isn't titled to you, she could challenge your claim to it. You might want to prepare to buy her out of it. Whatever fair market value is. Probably best to go ahead with the sale of the house. If you wait, don't let anyone live there without paying rent. A formal lease is also necessary. If these things were rightfully hers, they would have been left to her. If the Corvette was transferred to you before your great-grandmother's passing, it was no longer part of the estate to be inherited by your mother. But that assumes the official title was legally transferred, paperwork filed, and that it happened prior to her death. Did you legally transfer title? Or is the title still in your great-grandparents' name? If the car's title was not in your name at the time of her passing, it was part of your great-grandmother's estate, and since she bequeathed it to your mother in her will, your mother can defend her legal right to it. You're fully capable of supporting yourself too. I have no opinion on what you should or shouldn't do, but you're kidding yourself if you don't understand why your mother is hurt and mad. Info. Before this dispute, how was your relationship with your mom? Is keeping the car worth ruining that relationship? She will never pay you rent. Don't let her in. Get everything sold and split up. See how she acts the whole way though, and once all is said and done, then with a clear head and the knowledge of how she treated you and your sister, deal with mom. I think you will find that true colors of her actions will guide your hand. No one here knows your family dynamics, but try and be generous after the dust settles. Things are a bit simpler after you have done the heavy lifting and people show you who they are. Good luck. YTA, the car was willed to her, so not only did you get everything in the will, you're now stealing the only thing that was actually left to her. Why do you hate your mom? Am I the asshole for refusing to give my pregnant sister the baby name I picked out years ago? English is not my first language, so sorry for any mistakes or typos. Okay, so this has caused a huge fight in my family and I need outside opinions. I, 29F, have known for years that I want to name my future daughter Lena, short for Helen, a Gake name. Just an example, meaning a short name that stands for another longer name, like Beth for Elizabeth. It was my grandmother's name, who basically raised me while my mom worked 2 jobs and a side hustle. She passed when I was 17 and I've always known I wanted to honor her if I ever had a daughter. I even have a little locket with her name engraved on it that I keep for that reason. My older sister, 34F, who we'll call Jen, is currently 6 months pregnant with her first child. Jen just found out it's a girl, and at dinner last weekend she announced that she's naming the baby Lena. I was kind of stunned and just said, "Wait, my Lena?" She looked confused and said, "Well, Grandma Lena, yeah." We all loved her. I reminded her that I always said I would use that name and that it's been my baby name forever. She basically said I don't own it, and that since she's actually having a baby first, she's using it. I told her she could at least talk to me before announcing it, and that I felt she did it on purpose to hurt me. She rolled her eyes and said I'm being overly emotional and territorial about a name. My mom is backing her up, saying it's just a name and that I should be happy our grandmother is being honored. My boyfriend thinks it's messed up but says I should just let it go to keep the peace. But I feel like my sister knew what that name meant to me and chose to took it first. I'm not even sure I want to talk to her right now. Am I the asshole for being upset and not wanting her to have the name? Lay it on me. Do I just move on and honor my granny another way? Edit. Thank you to everyone who commented. I do appreciate the honest and blunt feedback. I wanted to add, said in a few comments, that we are trying to get pregnant. We are doing some fertility treatments, which is why I am hormonal a lot. Partner and I have decided that, if, as everyone said, we do have a daughter, we will name her a variation of Granny's name, a long version and slightly different spelling, so that we can still have our name we wanted and not have this fight in the family. I accept that it's a stupid fight and I was the asshole here. I can't call dibs, but anyway, I just was hoping my sister was done being petty to me, now that she's a grown adult. I also decided I am gonna get a small tattoo in honor of my granny, and one of my close cousins is also getting one to honor our granny. I am learning to share the honor for granny, thanks to all you people of Reddit who called me out. I am gonna have a talk with my sister and tell her I am sorry for how I reacted and take her out for a tea, and try to put all this hurt and pain behind us. Thanks again everyone. Soft, you are the asshole. You don't own the name and it was her grandmother too. The reason I say soft is because you can never truly know if they did it out of spite or sibling rivalry. However, if you have a kid you can name them Lena, and if your sister gets pissy well she doesn't own it. You are the asshole. Let's all say it together. You can't own a name. Anyone can use whatever name they choose even if you already named your existing child that. You certainly don't get to call dibs on a name you may never use. Yes, dear one, you are the asshole here. No one owns a name. Many cousins share names when they are named for loved ones. If you ever have a daughter, name her Lena. Don't make this a thing that causes drama and unhappiness. You and your sister both loved your grandmother and want to honor her. You are the asshole. She was your sister's grandma too. She has as much right to that name as you do and doesn't have to talk to you about it. What if you never have a baby? What if you never have a girl? Would you rather your grandma was not honored at all? This might be one where there is 100% agreement on Reddit. There's no name reservations. If you ever have a daughter, name her Lena, but you don't get to dictate what your sister names her child. You are the asshole. You do realize that other people knew your grandmother, had their own relationship with her and have just as much right to honor her as you. Right? You are the asshole. You aren't the main character. Am I the asshole for finally calling out my flaky friend after she faked an emergency? I, 27F, have a friend, Lena, 28F, who's been flaking on me for months. Every time we make plans like dinner, concerts, even just coffee, she cancels last minute with some crisis, work emergency, family drama, sudden fatigue. I've been patient, but last week was the final straw. We had tickets to a show I'd been hyped for. She canceled 2 hours before, texting, "So sorry, my cat is acting weird and I'm freaking out. Need to monitor him." I called BS. She posted her cat playing happily on Instagram 30 minutes earlier. I replied, "If you didn't want to go, you could have just said so." This is the third time this month. She blew up, saying I was heartless for doubting her and that pets get sick suddenly. Our mutual friends are split. Some say I was too harsh, others agree she's been shady. Am I the asshole for calling her out? Not the asshole, and I would stop inviting her to things. I had a friend who started this way, and then worked up to just ghosting day of, and eventually she just stopped responding to texts. Don't prioritize someone who won't prioritize you. Not the asshole, but I don't get why you keep making plans with her knowing she does this. Not the asshole. She has a track record for flaking on you, so even if she isn't lying in this instance, she's the boy who cried wolf. So you are allowed not to believe her. From now on, just stop making plans with her. At this stage, there is no trust in your friendship. Let the friendship die. Not the asshole. Look, she either has a really chaotic, stressful life that doesn't leave her time for you, or she's a bad friend and lies to you. Either way, it's clearly not working, right? It's making you feel bad, and uncared for, and frustrated, so maybe you're simply not meant to be friends either way. Stop inviting her. If she brings it up, tell her you don't care about hanging out. I wouldn't even be friends with her anymore. You're not the asshole. People who consistently flake out on plans are unreliable H's and not worth your time. Am I the asshole for not wearing a dress? I'm a cis masculine-leaning lesbian that's literally had top surgery. I have not worn a dress or dressed feminine in years. My family is for the most part accepting. My sister is getting married and I am in the wedding party. It's already so incredibly stressful to find formal wear as a 5'1" person who wears men's clothing, so the plan was me to just wear what the groomsmen are wearing and get it tailored, and then my sister was able to call the company and get some swatches of fabric and make me a tie with the sage green floral print the bridesmaids are wearing. Well, apparently her future mother-in-law doesn't like the idea of me being in the bridal party and wearing a suit, so my sister wants me to just suck it up and wear the dress, and I just responded with, if it's such an issue, I'm not going to be in the wedding. My entire family is basically insinuating I'm selfish for not sucking it up for one day, and just wearing the dress to make my sister happy. Am I the asshole here? Should I just put my own comfort aside and wear a dress to make my sister happy? Info. Why does mother-in-law's opinion matter? Not the asshole. The original plan was perfect. Now that your sister is catering to her mother-in-law, watching how the mother-in-law treats you, that can already see this being a problem. And your second option of you stepping down was perfectly fine as well. Because then that would take you out of having to conform to any of the bridal rules. The problem is the mother-in-law still going to insist that you wear a dress even if you're not in a wedding party? So your sister needs to understand how this is going to affect you every time you have to deal with them, which hopefully will not be much. There's going to be conflict. Your family should be more concerned about why your sister is pandering to a homophobic mother-in-law instead of telling her it's none of her business. Not the asshole. The problem is the groom not telling his mom to STF up. It's their wedding and no one gets to tell them how to run it. If they want every single guest to wear red and go barefoot, that's what you do. If you don't like that, don't attend. On the other hand, if some guests have orthopedic problems that prohibit them going barefoot, I would accommodate that. Mom is selfish and rude and does not know her place. It's up to the son to put her in it. Not the asshole. It's not just your comfort they want you to put aside, it's your identity. Her mother-in-law will never be comfortable with your presence in her family. Not the asshole. Your original plan, groomsmen attire in bridesmaid colors, is exactly what I wore in the bridal party for a friend, and everyone was fine.